All right, everybody, what is going on? Good evening. I know we're a little bit late here. Meant to get this up earlier, but stuff happened. But here we are now, and I know that these videos are not necessarily pushing a lot of people to rush to click on the video anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. We're going to do some tape study on Andre Fuller, the cornerback we got from Toledo. We're looking at a game that Toledo played last year against Western Kentucky. I believe this was like week 4 in the season or something. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So the raw stats from this game were 3 tackles, and 2 of those tackles were stops, by the way. He did have 1 missed tackle. He allowed 4 catches on 10 targets. I couldn't find all 10 targets. 68 yards. So not an amazing day, but a pretty decent day. 10 targets, 68 yards is okay. Especially because one of those completions, which was most of the yards, was kind of a funky play, and 2 passes broken up. So, good day for him. Not his interception game, but a pretty good game. So, let's go through the notes here. It's not gonna take long. First few minutes of the game, he doesn't get targeted. They're going to the other side of the field. Finally gets targeted at 11:35 in the first quarter. It's a bad miscommunication between the quarterback and receiver. I think either the receiver ran the wrong route or the quarterback thought the receiver was going to run a different route. Either way, the ball is behind the receiver by like 10 yards, or it's just a really, really bad throw. I don't know. But that was the first target. Next play. This was the first time in this game because the first few snaps of the game, I didn't say anything because he didn't get targeted. This was the first time where I saw him giving cushion. The first several snaps of this game, and most of this game, he's right up in the receiver's grill at the line of scrimmage. So there is this significant cushion he allows here, and he definitely looks a little uncomfortable. And this goes back to what I was saying the other earlier today about how when you take him out of press, he's just not as good. A few minutes later, there's a play where he's dropping into a deep zone. So this is another play where he's not allowed to press at 9:20 in the first quarter. But what makes this play notable is that he comes up very aggressively against a swing pass to the running back, and he does a really good job on an open field tackle on that back when the back gets the ball. So open field, he swings him down to the ground. Really nice rep by him, in my opinion. Really like what I saw from him there. 9:20, that kind of features the kinds of things that I imagine this team likes about him. 7:58, however, is where he gave up most of the yards he gave up. He bites down hard on a double pass where the quarterback throws it to a receiver and then the receiver throws it to a downfield receiver, and Fuller gets roasted hard. Now, what are you going to do? That's kind of the point of the double pass, right? You pass it to the receiver. The secondary is obligated to bite on the pass, and then the receiver throws it downfield. And the receiver that he's throwing it to is usually wide open, and that was the case here. They get down to the goal line, and eventually they do score a touchdown. Nothing really else happens until 2:01 in the first quarter. There's a go route where he gets targeted. He sticks with his man after playing tight press early, so he's able to get right up in the grill of the receiver and then hang with him on a go route, so that's always impressive. He does get a little bit physical at the catch point, and I wonder if what he did on this play would draw a flag in the NFL. Did not draw a flag here, though. He's totally fine, and it's good, tight coverage ultimately. So whether or not that will translate to a flag in the NFL, we don't know yet, and we don't have the opportunity to know yet until he actually gets there. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. All right, so then with 9:13 left in the second quarter, we have a nice rep at the goal line. And the thing that stood out to me here, this was a rep where he actually kind of missed his jam at the line. I think he was going for it, and then the receiver juked him, but he's able to hustle back into the play and get into good coverage position on the receiver as the receiver's running a slant. So if you look at this play, it's kind of the example of the kind of stuff that I point to with Fuller and go, that's where he struggles. If he doesn't get his press down, he's toast. But on this play, he actually does a good job getting back into position. And then a little bit later, a couple plays later, 8:33 in the second quarter, there's a goal line fade. And again, he's playing the wide receiver's eyes, which is the thing that we talked about previously. But he does knock the pass away. And it's actually a really nice play to make sure there's no touchdown. So the goal line fade stuff was pretty legitimate, and it does stand out, even if he's not perfect form. Much later in the second quarter, 3:21 in the second quarter, there's a big cushion in zone. It's one of the few plays where he's giving up a big cushion. He ends up giving up a 17-yard completion in front of him. Like, he's dropping back so far, the receiver is able to just kind of get open free 17 yards down the field in front of him. So I'm assuming that was the plan, but it ends up looking kind of bad, especially with a player like Fuller. Last play of the second quarter for him, on a screen with 1:07 left in the second quarter, he fights to get off a block, and he can't get off of it. And that is something that he's going to have to be pretty good at the next level, I think, because tackling and run support are part of what makes him appealing as a player. So going to have to work on that. All right, now we get to a bunch of stuff in the third quarter here. Early 14-11 in the third. He's very decisive in picking up a screen pass in front of him. He's dropping back into a deep zone, and then he like clicks and closes, or that's kind of an awkward way to put it, but his click and close goes forward to the running back. Now, this is where he misses the tackle. He misses the tackle here and slides off the back of the runner, which allows the runner to get a bunch of extra yards. But still, there is something to be said for, he did a good job coming up aggressively to take away the screen. He just needs to make the tackle. There's one play at 13-18 in the third quarter. He's not targeted, but there's a little bit of an awkward pedal on an out and go by the receiver up the sideline. The way he has to flip his hips twice, it just kind of looks ugly. So that does kind of go to the stuff I say about him not being a very smooth mover, not a natural mover. 12-22 in the third quarter, he gets targeted on a go route, and the coverage is tight. Sticks with his man after being close to him at the line, and the pass is underthrown anyway, so not really much that can happen here. What I would say, though, is that if he had gotten his head around, he might have been able to pick it off, because it was a pretty poorly thrown ball and it was underthrown. But again, he's not really playing the ball, he's playing the receiver, and in the NFL, that's going to be a little bit harder to get away with. 12-16 left in the third quarter. There's this one play here where I'm not sure if it's his fault or not, but he passes his wide receiver off to a safety deep, and the safety squeezes up, and the receiver gets wide open behind the defense. So either Fuller was wrong to pass the receiver off, or the safety was wrong to squeeze up. I think the safety messed up, but I can't say for sure. I think the safety messed up. Receiver gets wide open, but it doesn't matter because the receiver drops the pass. So bailed out, but it's not a very pretty looking play. Somebody made a mistake. 12:09 left in the third quarter. There's another go route. And again, he does his job. He does play the wide receiver's eyes. But at the end of the day, he's able to knock the ball away, knock the pass away. And even though he doesn't find the ball, which is going to be the next kind of important part of his development here, that is going to be something that is notable, that he's at least skilled at playing the eyes of the receiver. And that can be very frustrating for a receiver, because a lot of these guys are not very good at being deceptive at the catch point. 4:35 left in the third quarter. He's watching from short zone, and he does a really good job coming up hard on an underneath pass in front of him. Just the classic, keep everything in front of you and then come up aggressively when something happens. He lays a good hit on the receiver running a slant in front of him and makes an aggressive tackle. It's a good rep. So that was his third tackle of the game. And at that point, there was really not much else to say, because this game got out of hand. It was a blowout. Toledo was up, I think, 45-7 at this point. So they empty out their benches, and I don't think Fuller plays again. If he did play again, I couldn't find him. Maybe he did, but overall, it was a really good game. He gave up the one big play on the double pass, and he did give up the 17-yard completion because of the giant cushion he was allowing. But that could have been a coach decision. I don't know if that was his choice. That doesn't seem to be the way he likes to play. So that's what I got on Fuller. Not a lot, but it's a little something to work with. So I will see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everybody have a good rest of your night. Tomorrow, unless some stuff goes down and I decide to go ahead and take another day off, we're going to be talking about Mr. I believe Devin Eastern is the next guy up. So keep an eye out for that. I will see you guys soon, and everybody have a great rest of your day. Go Hawks.